Especially today, we've got more popping up on the radar as we head into your Friday evening, Wes and Tania.
That is right. And today it looks like we're going to have to extend this first alert weather day. We had some sunshine. We had temperatures in the 80s. And I know for some of us, we're still like, all right, I haven't seen as much rain, but it's taking some time. We're seeing some more development right now. There's more rain showers, more storms possible tonight and into tomorrow, but it's just incredible how quickly this rain adds up.
Oh, yeah, it does. I mean, flash flood warnings in effect for Coleman County still through this evening, and that can be an issue for us as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, and Lauren, you've been watching the radar closely throughout the day and seeing some of these photos that we've been receiving of these low clouds. You know, we've been watching for the isolated tornado threat, but you and I were talking about this a few moments ago. It's like some of these storms, they try to rotate, but just not quite.
Just not enough.
Yeah, there's this limiting factor, but you can see this a lot with tropical systems. You get these little cells that try to spin up, but they just can't quite get going, which, hey, cool.
Yeah, no problem.
Fine by us.
Fine by us.
Just stay unassuming shrimp. Don't do anything.
Yeah, hopefully the storms stay that way. Let's go to radar. We have a lot to track right now. A lot of folks out and about with these storms happening. Some of these games are in lightning delays that we have on this Friday night. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan is going to grab the controls here on the radar, and we're going to zoom in first off, starting with this flash flood warning that was in effect for Coleman County. That was actually extended down into Blount and northern Jefferson counties until 8:30, but there's still some pockets of heavy rain moving in that direction, so we still could have, again, some flooding issues here next few hours across parts of Jefferson, Blount, and even into Walker County. Here's some heavy rain. There's West Jefferson and moving north towards Dora and Sipsey. And again, these storms have behaved. It's just the heavy rain's been the big issue with some of these so far. Quite a bit of lightning with this one here, not far from Cleveland. That's moving towards Aniana. Look at that little storm. These are typically what we call low-top storms. These are not the kind of storms like we see often during the summer. Some of these that jump up over 40,000 feet with those kind of tops. You can see there as we look at those. The BTI is about a 2.8 with this, so typically on a scale of 0 to 10, when you start seeing that level jump up around a 4 or 5, really got to watch these things for they may be trying to produce a tornado, but it looks like that storm is behaving at this time. As we go further south, again, we're just going to kind of play radar roundup here across the state, and for some of these areas we're mentioning, what the game of the week was right there, Trustful. Looks like some rain to the south. You can see around Moody, down into Westover, a heavy pocket of rain, but not much lightning with that. Crossing Highway 280. Chelsea, that's just off to the, you probably see that dark cloud there off to the east there that's tracking to the north. A little downpour around Columbiana. But you go east of this point, we're not seeing a lot of wet weather at this time. Most of it's been right there confined to West Alabama, right along Interstate 65. But what the forecast data is telling us, actually we can bring in forecast radar for the next 60 minutes to 2 hours, and we'll show you what that looks like as well. And what you're looking at is current radar view, but Lauren's bringing in, this is the forecast radar next 2 hours, and you can see it still kind of shows next hour or two these same areas being impacted, but the models tell us later tonight that East Alabama, we could see some more development happening over that part of the state. So rain chances remain elevated through tonight into the day tomorrow, so we will be monitoring again a first alert weather day, that flood risk. Probably see some trouble spots early tomorrow morning, so be sure you check in with Matt early in the day. You have some Saturday morning early plans out there. Make sure you check in with Matt on Good Day Alabama weekend. But right now, make sure you scan the code on the screen. Download the First Alert Weather app. Alerts where you are. You get those hour-by-hour forecasts. Don't forget the 10-day forecast. And again, if there is lightning out there, we just had one of the coaches on a few moments ago, I believe, that was talking about receiving those lightning alerts. You get those on the First Alert Weather app. Download it for free by scanning the code on the screen.
Hey, Wes, and this time yesterday, we actually had a lot of power outages across central Alabama, thanks to Francine moving through. Even sometimes you can get power outages if there's no tropical system, no severe threat, but you just have some strong gusty winds. We were under that wind advisory, but zooming in now, it looks like the main areas here in our neck of the woods, at least, that we're seeing still some power outages are Jefferson and Tuscaloosa counties. But yesterday, some spots had over 8,000 power outages, 8,000 customers without without power. And so now we're just seeing about 200 customers without power in each of those areas. So good to see that's not as widespread of a problem today. I would say more so the risk as we go into tonight and tomorrow is going to be that flooding risk. And of course, we'll keep our eyes peeled for a brief week spin up tornado. But hey, when we do have power outages, though generators can help, did you know operating them incorrectly could cause serious harm or even death? About 85 people die in the U.S. every year from carbon monoxide poisoning due to portable generators, according to a report from the Consumer Product Safety Commission. The Alabama Red Cross say they unfortunately see a lot of deaths after storms and hurricanes because homeowners are not properly ventilating their generators, which is why they want to make sure people have a good way that their carbon monoxide detectors are working and are using their generator only as needed.
A lot of people put it in their garage. They may not have a yard to put it in. A lot of people we've seen simply think that opening a window and running it in their garage under where they're sleeping is a good idea. And that's when you start to see those, if not fatalities, you start to see near fatal injuries where people have been breathing in those harmful fumes for hours.
Well, in addition to following the generator safety guidelines, the Red Cross says it's best to operate on a dry surface under an open canopy-like structure. When possible, you also want to plug appliances directly into the generator. Well, hopefully today none of you are having to use your generators. I know yesterday was more of a day with some tropical mischief, but again, more of a threat for flash flooding. But what could we see as we head into the weekend? We now bring in meteorologist Tania Michelle to show us what to expect as we head towards the weekend, which is almost here.
It literally, well, I'm not
so
wearing
close.
A watch, but are you
Oh,
wearing a
yeah,
watch?
girl,
Okay.
we got about 25 minutes.
Okay, listen, I'm not mad at you counting. For those of you who are also counting and wanting to know what you can expect for your weekend, here's a look at that out the door forecast for your Saturday. It's still going to be a pretty cloudy day. We could catch some breaks like we did for your Friday, a little bit of sunshine here and there, but we will still see a lot of wet weather. So whether you are going to be outdoors or running errands, you're going to want to have that umbrella and rain jacket on hand. Notice 60% chance for showers and thunderstorms as early as 7 a.m. for your Saturday. 11 o'clock, still going to see a good chance for some showers and thunderstorms, and even greater chance as we approach your afternoon. Here we are at 3 p.m. The one good thing is that winds will be fairly light for your Saturday. We'll see sustained winds from the east, southeast generally, just around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperatures early tomorrow morning in the upper 60s, seeing temperatures only really warming into the 70s as we approach your Saturday afternoon. We have more wet weather in the forecast as we approach your Sunday. So again, hold on to the rain gear. If you're going to be out and about at any games, get that poncho, hold on to that umbrella, that rain jacket, and like Lauren, her rain boots. You know, all of it's going to come in handy. And of course, you want to check in for updates because we still will have that potential flood threat that still stands throughout the weekend. Well, Gadsden city leaders have crews working to make sure those streets don't flood, thankfully, and you can get around no matter what showers or storms may bring this weekend. Your East Alabama reporter Reggie Kyle joins us after talking with city leaders on how they're preparing for potential flooding.
Now, Brett Johnson with the mayor's office in Gadsden says it's the little things they can do around town to prevent some of these drainage problems. Senator Katie Britt secured $2.5 million for the city of Gadsden that will allow them to improve drainage issues and eliminate flooding. While those funds are pending, Brett Johnson says the city is being proactive by cleaning ditches, keeping the curbs and gutters clean, and clearing out clogged pipes and drains. He says the biggest help to the city has been the Hey Gadsden app. Having the community use the app and identifying drainage issues, Johnson says is one big help the city is thankful for.
The other thing that has helped is that the city council and the mayor have put, I think, a little over $3 million in new equipment in the public works department's budget so that they can have the proper attachments they need to the excavators, the proper equipment that they can not have to be down in the shop waiting for equipment to be fixed.
Now, Brett Johnson went on to say they have no time frame when they will receive those funds, but that won't stop them from doing their job and serving the people of Gadsden. Your reporter in East Alabama, I'm Reggie Kyle for WBRC 6 News on your side.
Well, in 30 seconds, we take a quick check on your radar and track any storms as they continue to move through the area. We're also going to take you to other significant weather and environment events happening across the globe. You're watching First Alert Weather Extra. We'll be right back.
All right, time for another check on this weather. Our First Alert weather watchers checking in over an inch of rain. Columbiana, Travis Braden, and Graysville, Debbie Alexander, just under an inch and a half of rain this weekend. If you didn't receive much rain today, well, tomorrow we got to watch it again. We have an 80% chance for wet weather, another flood watch throughout the day. The clouds of rain will keep the daytime temperatures in the 70s this weekend, and still a good chance Sunday that we could see some showers as well. So more rainfall, and this is still related to what's left of that tropical system, Francine, and we'll show you what else is happening out there. Another tropical storm formed today. We'll show you where that's going in First Alert Weather.
Wes, well, taking you across the country to the west coast in Southern California, where new video shows another view of that 4.7 magnitude earthquake. This is video from a store in Malibu, items shaking on the shelves as the earthquake hit the area. The quake actually happened earlier this morning, with its epicenter located in between Malibu and Agora Hills. Thankfully, there were no reports of injuries or damage thus far. And with 3 major wildfires burning across California, nearly dozens of homes have been destroyed and thousands of people have been forced to evacuate. There are 8 more active wildfires across the state, bringing the total to 11. And in Southern California, the bridge fire in the San Gabriel Canyon continues to challenge fire crews, making it the largest active fire in the state. So far, the wildfire has spread from Los Angeles to San Bernardino County, destroying more than 30 homes. One homeowner spoke out after escaping the fire.
How are you feeling right now?
Mixed feelings, very overwhelmed.
So we'll be nomads for a while.
Maybe I can start doing some facials, massages again, but we have to do it one day at a time.
Well, the bridge fire is currently 3% contained and has burned nearly 52,000 acres. And in Oregon, fires in the Bachelor Complex, including the Little Lava Fire, burns over 10,000 acres. Air tankers and helicopters continue to try to put out the blaze as cooler temperatures and high moisture have kept the fire from spreading as quickly. There are currently 27 active wildfires across the state. So even though we've had drought conditions here in central Alabama, we just haven't seen that panning out west. So we're going to try to bring up a map here of the wildfire that we've been seeing across not in central Alabama, but areas out west. So we'll continue to watch for that potential to see any type of wildfires in our neck of the woods, but with the drought monitor showing the potential for more areas that could be drying out in the next couple of days. We see right here a wide view across the U.S. of fire and smoke. This is a fire and smoke map. So where you see the gray showing up, that's where you can see a plume of smoke actually that has originated from Canada coming down the plains. And then we were just talking about those Oregon fires. As we zoom in here to the Pacific Northwest, you can see how those fires are producing smoke out in that area. So fortunately, no smoke here in central Alabama, but definitely an issue for our neighbors out west and even those in the middle of the country, Tania.
Absolutely. Well, check this out, everyone. How neat is this? One of the driest places in the world is getting, matter of fact, turning green. Taking you now to Africa, where satellites captured plant life blooming in parts of the Sahara Desert after an unusual weather pattern brought heavy rain and even flooding. Since mid-July, stormy weather has shifted farther north than it usually does. And as a result, portions of the Sahara Desert are anywhere from twice as wet to more than 6 times wetter than they should be. And still ahead on First Alert Weather Extra, we're going to bring you updates on tomorrow's First Alert Weather Day, as well as take you beyond the 7-day to see if we could see more wet weather in the days ahead. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. A lot of rain stretching northward across the area. Seeing some showers over into East Alabama, but if you notice here the frames, this starts around 4 o'clock and just hardly any as far as the east to west motion with this. It's just right there across those central areas, and that's why this is going to continue to pile up here over the next couple of days. More and more of this rain moving to the north, but the models are suggesting East Alabama, we could see some more development out here later on this evening, especially places like Gadsden where we really haven't seen as much rain. But all this, if you look at the general circulation all across this region, is wrapping into what's left of Francine, and now what's happening here is this is evolving more into a mid-latitude system as it moves further north. It's no longer has those classic tropical characteristics, although clearly we have a very tropical-like environment across Alabama. It's brought in all that moisture off the Gulf of Mexico. Felt almost like early July today. Hot, humid. We had sunshine, and that's feeding these tropical downpours that are still happening out there for tonight. There is, speaking of the tropics, another disturbance off the east coast, and it's interesting what happens with this. There's actually a medium chance, 40% chance over the next 7 days this becomes better organized. It moves to the north, and by the middle of next week it actually is forced south according to some of the global data towards next Friday and Saturday. So around this time next week we may see some rain from this system. We're just kind of wedged in between a couple of tropical systems there, and that one could work southward and impact our forecast later on next week. There was a system, it was a tropical depression. It was number 7. Now it's Tropical Storm Gordon. It's way out over the Atlantic, so if you did receive an update on this, it's still way out there over the Atlantic and expected to stay there. You can see, in fact, the data starts to turn that to the north. So this is no immediate concern if you're keeping up with that tropical system way out there. But our 7-day forecast, let's walk you through the data through tonight. You can see we have that flood watch that will be in effect for tomorrow. And there we go. We'll bring in the model data, future radar. There's 9 o'clock tonight. Notice early morning hours showing here into East Alabama. So there could be some trouble spots with respect to flooding early tomorrow morning. And then there's 9 o'clock in the morning. And then as we take it into 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you can see still some scattered showers there wrapping in from south to north across the area, also through tomorrow night. So Saturday we have that chance of rain. Looking ahead to Sunday as well, also seeing the possibility of some wet weather. We have around a 60% chance for rain on Sunday. So if you didn't see much rain on Saturday, Sunday we also have that chance for wet weather. It looks like early in the day, East Alabama, perhaps some of that leftover rain, but I think as we go into the afternoon, a lot of this is going to be more focused back to the west. It's almost like over the weekend all this starts to work its way east, and then by Sunday it starts to work its way back to the west with respect to the coverage of rainfall. But there will be some breaks at times out there for this weekend. And again, let's look ahead to next week. I was mentioning that tropical disturbance there. The rain chances back off at least through next Tuesday and Wednesday, but that system to the north, you can see how as we go into next Thursday and Friday starts to drift a bit further south. So looking ahead and just beyond the 7-day forecast, it looks like that chance for some showers could come back next weekend and into that following week. So we will talk a lot more about the radar, what we're tracking right now. We'll have another update coming up right here on First Alert Weather Extra.
I didn't know what you want me to show.
The CPC outlook, 30-day CPC outlook.
Oh, there's a 30-day one?
That's why I was like, the 30, that threw me off.
I didn't know we had a 30-day one. Well, we got some gorgeous weather photos that have been coming in on the weather app. You know, kind of a benefit of the tropics, they can make for some beautiful sunrises and sunsets like this one from Tawana Hallmark's farm. Gorgeous.
That was kind of nice. This one's from Desiree. Love your name and love this picture. Yeah. Sunset in Hoax Bluff.
You always see those purple colors before a tropical system. A lot of tropical sunsets. This was from Francine earlier this week. Becky Ray sharing this from Cleveland. Almost a purple color in the sky.
I know. And then look at this one, Wes. Donna Sorensen, another sunset there. I kind of like how the trees are black.
You know, Donna needs to just start an album, a book, because I mean, she's sharing photos every day.
We have photos from her every day.
And of course, we have a gorgeous photo from Walmart. This is a beautiful view that was taken from the sunset in Jasper. And then our dear friend
Ryan Carty in Biloxi.
Yeah,
probably sitting there enjoying some seafood. You know, the other night he was out in the tropical system sending us, I was receiving videos at like 1 o'clock in the morning of some of the flooding in Biloxi. But look, that thing really produced a lot of flooding along the Gulf Coast, Francine. New Orleans over towards that area, but Ryan was sharing some videos, but it looks like he got to enjoy some downtime, right?
Some beautiful sunsets.
Yeah. We could all use some downtime.
Hey, well, it's been an active weekend. Listen, we're going to be watching this through tonight. There's a lot of rain. You can see behind you guys there on the radar. Yeah. It's sluggish at this point. It's going to take this some time to move through. And Lauren, I know this weekend, Matt will be here in the morning. Yes. You'll be here tomorrow also keeping a watch on this. Of course, we have a football game on tomorrow right here. Big game. But we will be monitoring and passing along updates on the First Alert Weather app.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and we will, if there's something serious, we will cut in, but probably not going to do that because we want y'all to be able to watch.
You have a big weekend, too, because you'll be at the National Weather Service Conference,
Yes,
right?
we have the National Weather Association Conference coming up this weekend, and I believe we have some extra time here. So while we do, I do want to go to the radar again, if we could take that full screen, and we'll try to go in and do some tracking here for you while we have a few moments. We have football coming up tonight on WBRC, so we're going to have that coverage starting for you here very soon. So as we go over to First Alert AccuTrack, and Lauren, I'll let you just grab the controls, and one more time we'll go in here for a close view. Again, we don't have any tornado watches that are in effect for our area. Can we go back over to our graphic source number 1? There we go. And you can see over Centerville, we are starting to see some of that heavy rain moving north, and we had some delays out there. So for folks that might be at some of the games, you can see where that rain's happening right now around Cleveland and over towards Aniana. Let's go ahead and put a track on that around Nectar if we can there, Lauren, and just put some times. You can see around Joy area 717, River Bend area around 721, and also Chambliss Mill you can see around 723. So areas around Susan Moore, a little storm there that's tracking to the north. But starting to see some of those pockets of rain around Blount County. I know yesterday we didn't see quite as much. Also around Smith Lake and also around Dora, a little downpour that's tracking to the north. There's another view there of radar, and just watching what's happening there. I mentioned around Centerville, and Lauren will zoom in right there around the Centerville area and just show you some of that heavy rain. That's going to be tracking north towards Woodstock, West Blockton over the next 30 minutes. So we do have some heavy rain moving in that direction. You can see around West Centerville at 722 and around the Brent area at 722 as well. So just make sure you have the WBRC First Alert Weather app. As mentioned, again, we have college football coming up tonight, a Friday night game here on WBRC. So we'll have that game for you. We'll be passing along updates on the First Alert Weather app. And also make sure that you if you don't have a First Alert Weather app, you follow us on our YouTube channel, but we will have that for you coming up tonight right here on WBRC.
Yeah, Wes, and you can still see, too, as we're watching these storms as we go into the night, we're really beginning to see, earlier it was just kind of one concise line, and now it actually looks like it's getting a little messier as we go into the evening. So there is a very real possibility that this rain we're watching here as we go into tonight could actually become more widespread. So that's why we're saying, hey, even into the overnight hours, there could be some wet weather. So check back in first thing in the morning with Matt on Good Day. He'll be tracking if there are any trouble spots. Hey, a good excuse if it's going to be raining. Sleep in on your Saturday. It's been a long week. Yeah. Hey, we always gotta love a good Sunday nap too. But check back in with Wes and Tania tonight on streaming.
Online,
yeah.